Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how to print using a 3D printer. Awesome. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started. The first step we're going to do here is opening up Pronterface. So Pronterface looks like this. It's got a red circle emoticon sort of thing. And if you don't find it on the desktop on one of the laptops, you can just search Pronterface down in the window here. Should show up something like that. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, double click this and open it up, and this is generally what it looks like when you open it up. This probably won't be black on yours, but so this is a general idea. What we're gonna do first is actually make sure we have the correct COM port selected. So when you try to print on one of the printers, you can choose a specific printer based off the COM port. The number is on the back of the printer, so you can just do it like that by dropping down this menu, and selecting the number of the printer that you want to print with. All right, once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and click Connect, and I'll show you what happens. Alright, so we get these connecting statuses over here on the right side, and once it's actually connected, you get a whole bunch of junk on the right side here. But now we are connected and we're ready to move on to the next step. Alright, now that we're connected, we can go ahead and move on to the next step here, which is pressing the power button on the printer. And this will be in the upper left corner, as shown here. Alright, now that we've got our printer powered up, we can go ahead and home it so that it knows where it is when it starts printing. So the way we're going to do that is by in Pronterface coming over here and clicking this little home button. So let's click that and watch what happens. Alright, great. Now that we've got our printer homed, let's set our temperatures. So before we do that, we need to make sure we have the correct temperatures set here based off the plastic that we're going to be using. So right now you can tell it's set to ABS, but if we are going to use PLA, we can click this drop-down list and change the temperatures respective to the plastic that we are using. And so this top temperature is your nozzle temperature, and the bottom one is your bed temperature. So I'm using ABS, so let's go ahead and set those temperatures. We can do that by clicking this set button here and this set button here. They'll turn orange, and we can start watching our nozzle and bed heat up here in the graph, as well as down here with the numbers. Alright, so while our printer heats up, let's get our file ready to print. So what I have done here is downloaded an STL from a website called Thingiverse. You can get a whole variety of different printable models there, so check that out if you need something to print. But I've got this cute octo file. This is an STL, and we're going to go ahead and get this in G-code format, and we're going to do that with a program called Slicer. So let's open up Slicer here. The way I'm going to do that, since I don't have it on my desktop, I'm going to go down to my Start menu here and search for Slicer, S-L-I-C-3-E-R, 3R, and it looks like a sliced fruit, so let's click on that. Alright, once it opens up, it should look something like this. This probably won't be black, just like Pronterface, but the whole setup should be very similar to this. So what we're going to do is add our STL file. So for me, it's going to be this cute octo STL, And the way I'm going to do that is by clicking this Add button up in the upper left corner. And I'm going to go to my desktop, and let's see, go down, select this cute octo.stl file. Click open, and should pop in something like this. So this screen here, this grid, is actually a representation of the bed. So if this part does not fit within your grid, say it's out like this, that means it won't print on the bed. So we want to make sure that it is centered and that it fits on the entirety of the bed. And in this case it does. So let's go ahead and export our G-code. We can do that by clicking this Export G-code button and letting it export. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, once we've got our G-code exported, which you can see mine is over here on my desktop, we can pop that into Pronterface. So let's open up Pronterface again. Here it is. And we can add our file. And this is the G-code file, not the STL file. If you try to load an STL file in here and print it, it will not print correctly. So every time you need to make sure that you have a G-code file before you print. So let's go ahead and load that G-code in. And we can do that by clicking this Load File button up at the top. So click that and navigate to where your G-code is. And here's mine, cuteocto.gcode. Select that, open. Alright, so once your object is finished loading in, it should look something similar to this. Now you can notice if you look on the right side into this code area, it'll tell you the dimensions of your object, as well as the estimated duration and estimated material usage. So for this specific model, the material usage looks like it's going to be 8,985 millimeters, so 8.9 meters of filament. And it has an estimated duration of 1 hour and 26 minutes. Alright, so if you're happy with your model that you've loaded in as far as the material usage and the estimated duration, let's just make sure our temperatures are set, and we'll be able to go ahead and press print. So looks like our nozzle temperature right now is 230 degrees, and our bed temperature is 109 degrees, and so it's 230 out of 230 and 110 out of 110. So we should be set to go. So let's go to the top here and click this print button and watch what happens. Alright, so once we start the print, we want to watch our first layer, make sure we have the correct layer height and proper adhesion to the surface of the bed. Because if you don't, your print will most likely fail because it comes off the bed or it squishes too much into the glass or whatever. There are a whole variety of different problems you can run into. So we want to really watch this first layer and make sure that it is correct and sticking to the bed nicely. So if the print isn't sticking or things aren't working out right, you think it's going to fail, it's not a problem. Stop the print and change what needs to be changed and restart it. And the way we would do that is by going to the top of our Pronterface interface here and clicking this pause button. Alright, so we click the pause button, wait a few seconds, the printer will stop, and we can raise up our nozzle by clicking this button here. This will raise it up 10 millimeters, this will raise it up 1 millimeter, and this will raise it up 0.1 millimeter. So I just clicked it a few times and raised it up about 20 millimeters there. And once that's done, we can go ahead and turn our motors off so that we can manually move our bed as well as the nozzle to get around our printed object. Alright, once we've stopped our prints and fixed what needs to be fixed, we can restart it by clicking the restart button up here. Or if you're done with your printing, we can go ahead and go on to the next steps of shutting down the machine and cleaning up. Okay, so once our print is finished, we want to do a couple things to shut down the printer. So the first thing we need to do is click the off button on our temperatures. So go over here, click this off, and click this off, and it will turn our temperatures off so our printer stops heating. Alright, once that's done, we can disconnect. So up here, we've got our disconnect button, and click that. Alright, this will gray out, and that's how we know that we are disconnected. There's also a note on the right hand side that lets us know that we're disconnected. That means we're done with that portion, and we can close out of Pronterface and turn off the power on our printer. Okay, once we have stopped our print and turned off the printer, we don't want to take off our part right away because the bed is still very hot, and we need to let it cool so that we can take off the part a little bit easier and not rip off the tape on the bed. Once the printer is cooled, you want to remove the binder clips holding the glass plate onto the heat bed. To remove your part, you can simply take a scraper and shimmy it under your part and then just peel it off, and you should be good to go. Last but not least, take that glass plate and secure it on with the binder clips again. Fill out the 3D printer usage sheet, and have a great day.